From the McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas, alongside of my partner, Haley Buckles, as we get set for North Dakota High School volleyball action as the Shanley Deacons get ready to take on the Fargo South Bruins. Well, folks, believe it or not, we have arrived to the final regular season game of the year here for the Shanley Deacons. It is senior night, their last home game of the year, taken on in-city rival Fargo South. Haley, what a way to end the regular season here.
Oh, it's a great way to end the regular season. You know, it's senior night. These are what the girls have been waiting for all year, especially the seniors. This is the last time they will be playing on the home court here at Shanley. It's a fantastic night, and everyone can't wait to go out there and play.
Absolutely, Haley. Shanley going to be looking to send their seniors off here with a victory in their last game on their home court. While Fargo South is going to look to play spoiler, and we know they are capable of pulling off the upset here in Shanley territory. Well, folks, like we said, it is senior night, so there are going to be some festivities for that, and we will step away to bring those to you. But don't go anywhere. There'll be some great volleyball afterwards.
For their daughters to honor their commitment to the Deacon volleyball program. Over the past 4 years, we have watched as these seniors have grown, both as athletes and young adults. Please come forward as I introduce your player and parents. Number 2, Jordan Strout, daughter of Chris and Jill Strout. Daughter of Tim and Jen Olsen. Number 13, Natalie Heinrich. Daughter of Todd and Amy Heinrich. Number 16, Grace Meyer, daughter of Chris and Karen Meyer. Number 18, Haley Gia, daughter of Paul and Shelly Gia. Student manager, Isabel Clava, daughter of John and Becky Clava. And student manager, Gabby Nelson, daughter of Dorian and the late Randy Nelson. Let's give one more big round of applause for your seniors and their parents for your Deacon volleyball program. At this time, we ask that you please rise. Remove all headwear as Father Charles LaCroix will lead us in prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Thanks and praise be to you, God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who has bestowed on us in Christ every spiritual blessing in the heavens. And we thank you for the great blessing of being gathered here together tonight for this contest. As always, we ask you to be with us and watch over us and make your presence known to us. Bless us. Keep the players in good health, free from injury and harm. Allow them to play the best of their ability. Reward them for their efforts. Let everything that we do here tonight be pleasing in your sight. And we ask a special blessing on the parents of the players of both teams. Reward them for their dedication, their devotion, perseverance, and of course their undying love. We pray all this in the name of your Son, Jesus, by the power of your Holy Spirit. You are God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Your anthem tonight will be performed by the Shanley Pep Band, which is directed by Mr. Don Pakmara. At this time, I'd like to direct your attention to the scores table as Shanley senior volleyball player Kate Olson will read the EDC
Don't go anywhere, folks. High school volleyball action is next after a brief word from our sponsors.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School volleyball action here on Shanley TV. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Haley Buckles as we are getting ready for the final home game here for the Shanley Deacons, their final regular season game and our final broadcast of the fall sports season. It is senior night tonight. There's a lot of storylines headed into this game, but Haley, before getting into all of that, why don't we focus on who you think the top individual performers will be for both teams here tonight?
Yes, Jed, and I think for your Shanley Deacons, I think, going back, Jordan Stroup and Grace Meyer are two fantastic seniors that play for the Deacon team here. They're both energetic, very out there, and they're outgoing, and they have very good court awareness of what they need to do varsity-wise going out there and playing. And going on the Fargo South side, Emily Jackson, the senior, the setter, she reads things very well, and she sets a lot of balls to Maya Krause. She's young, she's 10th grader, but man, she can hit really well, and she reads the court extremely well for her age. I'm excited to see what these two teams are going to do tonight. There's a lot of excitement in here on the Shanley Deacons side. It's senior night. It's going to be a good game. Yeah,
absolutely, Haley. No doubt about that. You mentioned Jordan Stroup and Grace Meyer, two seniors here on senior night, like you said. We've talked about them a lot in previous games. They've always been those key players to watch, but there's a reason for that. They've been top performers consistently all season long. I'll tell you what, though, one name to really start adding in there is Lander Fredericks. Over the last couple weeks, she has emerged. She's gone from a role player to a true force on this team, really establishing herself as a top player.
She has, and I believe in the last two games she has hit double digits in kills. She's a fantastic player, and then again, only being a sophomore, just like Maya Krause on the south side, it's going to be a great matchup between those two. They're both sophomores, middle, outside. it's just going to be exciting to see how those two compete with each other. It's going to be a good game, great atmosphere, and then again, it's senior night, so everyone's excited.
For sure. And Fredericks, you mentioned it a little bit. She will have a tough task here tonight. Not only will Maya Kraus be up there trying to get balls past her, but there's also some pretty solid height on this Fargo South team. There are a lot of players listed at 5'11" or taller than that, actually. So quite a bit of height the Deacons will have to contend with. Normally they have a height advantage up front with Fredericks or McAllister, but tonight they will be pretty evenly matched up there, so something to watch. Before we get it going, folks, want to give a shout out to a Shanley alumni tuning in. John Bauer, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And folks, if you're at home and you want to shout out, be sure to get in contact with us. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, any of our social media platforms. We'll try to give you a shout out on air here tonight. For now, though, we are just about ready to play the first point of this final regular season game. It's an all-senior lineup for Shanley. No surprises there. Little tip of the cap to these girls who have given a lot of time, just a lot in general to this program. And let's see if they can get a win here on the first point and a win on their last home game. So here we go. Jackson serves to start things off for Fargo South. Stroup will set. Fredericks lets one go. It's blocked at the line. There's that height we were talking about. Stroup over to Olsen. Just taps it over. Well played, though, by Jackson. Here's a little poke now, this time from Waltz. Heinrich is there to receive. Stroup all the way across to Meyer, targeting the back middle. Can't find a hole. Set, then a spike once again. It's Waltz. Excellent save made by Giok, and Kate Olsen makes the play to get it over. A fantastic volley to start things off as Kraus sends it over. Stroup now back to Olsen, looking for the kill. It teeters on the net, but it's kept alive. Ball sent over in the direction of Waltz. It's Jackson, though, who will take it. Now here's Heinrich giving it to Olsen. Olsen looking for the kill in the back row. Nothing there as of yet. Bruins continuing the pressure, and they come away with the opening points.
Great volley to start off this game. Like we said earlier at senior night, there's a lot of excitement. Also on the Fargo South side, the student sections and parents on the opposing side are really getting into it. It was a great way to start out. Got to be a little bit, watching those tips there. As we can see, they got blocked a few times there on the top there by the South.
But here we go, point number 2. Fredericks able to get it right back, and there's what we were talking about. Lander Fredericks continuing to emerge as a top player here on this Shanley team, and in the coming years, perhaps in this whole state.
I agree, yes.
Meyer with a low serve to start things off. Here's the set from Jackson all the way over to Kraus. Tipped at the line, Stroup gets there. Here's Heinrich now, losing her feet for a second, able to get it over to Meyer. Meyer's ball into the back corner. Set from Jackson, Kraus lets one go, too strong. Maybe not, no signal as of yet. I think South is saying that ball was tipped. And they will give it to the Bruins. They'll say the ball was tipped. I did not see it, but we don't have the best vantage point for that, so we will trust the referees here, obviously. A little more qualified than us. 2-1 in favor of the Bruins. Mackenzie Waltz is back to serve for Fargo South. Here goes Waltz, low serve. Heinrich is there, tough play there for Stroup, able to get it back to Huber. Huber pushes into the far corner, taken easily, now sent over to Jackson. That ball blocked at the line, attempting to get it over was Fritz. Here's the setup, try number 2. Kraus just taps it over, feigning the power shot. Stroup back to Olsen, looking for the kill in the corner, no sir. Jackson straight back to Kraus, in the corner, just outside.
A little bit outside, but like we said earlier, watching the way that this Fargo South Bruins are playing right now, they're playing really good. They're setting balls up. They're getting good digs. And it's just great watching them play. They're playing pretty fast, and so are the Deacons, but they need to watch for those tip balls because they've been getting a lot of blocks up top.
Certainly, Haley, the Bruins have come to play, that's for sure. Kleiman will take it. Stroup sets. Here's Huber directly in front, and it's tipped out of bounds that time by Seelig. That makes it 3-2 in favor of Shanley.
Good job by Huber there to find that gap and trust her abilities to go for that far, deep corner. It's a long ways away, and you got to have a lot of technique to get that ball down. She did a good job there.
So here's Kleiman. Ball tips the net, and it turns into an ace for the junior.
The #1 server on the team, I believe, Haley Kleiman. She does a great job either doing a float serve or a straight strike down the middle, just tipping the top of the net and having it roll right over.
Probably not an intentional move, but it does work out for her, although this time she sends it over. So an ace followed by a serve out of bounds, and that will turn possession now to Fargo South. 4-3 lead here for the Deacons. It's Alyssa Henry serving for South. Henry's ball taken by Giak. Kleiman sets it up now for Payne. Payne targeting the far side. I think she snuck it in there. Yes, she did.
And Payne and Grace Meyer, those two ladies on that team love to go across court, and they do a fantastic job at it, at getting a good top spin on that ball and making sure it goes right behind that 10-foot line. Good job by Payne there.
So here's Kate Olson serving now for Shanley. Quick set from Jackson. Kraus lets it go. Too strong. Kraus just putting too much behind that one.
Kraus went a little bit too high on the ball. She ends up lower her wrist down and snap through it to make sure that ball kind of spins down into the court. Good setup, though.
Olson on a nice run. That ball reached out for her by Fritz, and it turns into an ace for Olson. Ill-advised move, perhaps, to play the ball. Always a tough read, but it works out in favor of the Deacons that time.
Yes, it did.
So Olson continuing to serve. Shanley on a bit of a run right now, but that will end it as Carl is able to get it through the arms of a few Deacons and get the kill.
She had great power there to be able to go through the blockers of Hadley Huber. And Hadley Huber does a really good job at timing her jump. And good job by Fargo South there to find that gap and just, go through it with power.
Kraus serving manual, an uncharacteristic mistake. She did not have a great angle at that ball and was trying to make a play, but just could not.
It's very difficult when that ball comes in and kind of floats down and knuckleballs right down into her, and very hard read.
So Kraus will continue to serve, targeting the center back row. Climbing up to Straub. Here comes Payne. Payne's ball sent right back by Carl, but then Straub goes up for the kill.
Not only can Straub set the ball, tip the ball, but watch her come all the way across court, get back to her center position, and get up and kill the ball. Gets up there and gets good contact on it, right down 10-foot line. Good job by Straub there.
Giak back to serve now for Shanley. Low serve from Giak. Here's the set, little fake, and then just tapped over that time by Carl. Won't fool the Deacons, though. Kraus going to set it back, and a big power shot handled by Kleiman, though. Henry trying to blast her way through. Meyer taps it over. Kraus takes a swing at it, finds its way back that time to Waltz, contended at the net, and it'll fall on the Bruins side for a Deacon point.
Good job by Kleiman there. We just saw a glimpse of the power that Kraus has right there, trying to go line, and Kleiman staying strong and getting a good contact on the ball and controlling it all the way up to Jordan Straub to set the ball up.
9-5 now in favor of Shanley. Giak continuing with the low power serve. This ball going to be sent over by Fritz. Played over to Straub. Meyer lets it go, or excuse me, that was Payne. And that ball's blocked down onto the south side to make it a 10-5 game.
We have two big powerhouses in the front row here for the Shanley Deacons, Grace Meyer and Riley Payne. Expect them to get a lot of balls set to them.
Short serve from Giak. Excellent play made that time in the back row by Seelig. Giak will receive. Straub sets it up. Here comes Meyer looking for the kill, and she gets it.
Meyer, the speed and the court awareness where everyone is. They lined up, they went across court thinking that she was going to go across court just like what Riley Payne did. Instead, she went and hit line. Good job.
Yeah, real nice power shot that time from Grace Meyer. And Haley, Shanley is buzzing right now, up 11-5. South is giving it back best they can, but the Deacons have just gone on. Now it's been about two separate runs where they built up some nice leads. What are your early impressions here in the early goings of the first set?
I think the Deacons are doing a great job at staying composed. And, Maya Kraus and a couple of the girls in the front row there for Fargo South are getting tips on balls and swinging very well. But the Deacons are setting it up and being patient and getting really good reads by their hitters. I think South just needs to take a breath and just go out there and do what they did initially in the first set. They played really well. They set the ball up really well and had a really good volley. I think they just need to sit back and let things happen. Yeah, and
Haley, they did a really nice job earlier on of contending more of those balls at the net,
yes.
Perhaps reestablish that net front presence. Meanwhile, Shanley, like you said, just having really good chemistry tonight. They're firing on all cylinders so far. Let's see if they can keep it up through the timeout. Here is Giak, another low serve. Popped up high in the air by Fritz. Tough task there for Seelig to get it over, and she won't be able to. And
that's a tough way to come out of a timeout.
Very tough. I was just about to say, Haley, that's not how you want to start coming out of the timeout. So here is Giak now back serving for Shanley. And Seelig tried to pop it up, but it went right into the net, so it's an ace for Giak.
As you can see, she comes into the huddle there telling her girls, we all just got to take a break, settle down. And I think that's what they need to do here. Just let the play happen.
Giat continuing to attack the back left corner. Kraus will get it back into play, and the Bruins are able to return this one. Kleiman receives. Straub sets. Here comes Payne. That ball tipped at the net, and it falls out of bounds. That's a kill for Riley Payne, and a point for the Deacons.
Riley Payne still trying to find that line, and she does, and it looks like another timeout taken by the Fargo South.
Yeah, Shanley has forced South to burn both their timeouts already here in this first set, and that is usually not a good sign when you've already used all your timeouts here if you're South.
No, that's not a good sign, but again, they needed to use that timeout, let the girls, settle down and relax a little bit, and I think it was a good call.
Yeah, absolutely, Haley. I mean, you're trailing by 9 already here. If you let it get any further, you run the risk of just taking yourself out completely here in this first set. So good use of the timeout, but they got to make some adjustments. I mean, do you see anything off the top of your head that they can do to change things here, or is it just about getting a couple lucky bounces?
I think when they get that initial pass in the back row, they need to be able to control that ball and set it up very fast and very quick. They're kind of getting out of control in their arms and a little bit of movement and having that ball kind of squirm out of there. And they also need to get some pressure up on the net. Riley Payne and Grace Meyer having a heyday right now in this rotation. They need to get the Deacons out of this rotation.
So Giak going to try to continue a very impressive run. The Bruins, that is, already took one timeout to try and stop it. Let's see if the second one works. Well, not the way you want to start. An ace for Giak and her third of this little run here.
And as you can see, the South have moved another girl back and try to come in the back row. She's probably going to go front right. Oh,
a little bit in that direction, Haley. You weren't too far off as Kraus sets it up. Ooh. And finally, the Bruins are able to get possession back here as Carl sends that one down for the kill. But yeah, Haley, they adjusted that formation and kind of stacked that back left corner in anticipation.
They did, and the Fargo South Bruins right now need to get some momentum going. They're down. They need to get some points going here.
Shorter serve. Manuel is there as it goes right over, and it's expertly played by Carl. She saw all those back row members coming up and just found a wide open area to put the ball into.
She did, and the Deacons back row need to get that pass controlled right away to be able to get a good setup.
It's Rayolt serving. Her ball taken by Manuel. Straub now will set. Here comes Meyer looking for the kill. Into the back corner, and she's going to get it. Well played by the senior.
Well played is right. Good court awareness to find that back corner. And that was very difficult. She didn't spike or swing at the ball. She just tipped the ball. And her tip, that was very good long strength to get that tip all the way out there.
So Heinrich is back to serve now for the Deacons. Low ball from Heinrich and into the net. Unfortunate break there as they had the momentum going right back their way.
They need to get the ball back right here and close this game.
Yeah, the good news for the Deacons is they have not had trouble getting possession of this ball.
Yes.
So if this set continues to go how it has, they should get it back pretty quick here as Fredericks will tap it over.
Oh, my.
And somehow did they get it? No, just short. Allison Rayolt reached out there, did a great job almost getting it over, but just not enough space to really get any power behind it.
Good focus by the Bruins, though, not to give up on that ball.
So here is Straub serving for Shanley, putting it way back. Rayolt will play it. It's sent over, and then just a little tap that time from Henry. Here's Meyer putting it back into that left corner, and man, Haley, the Deacons are all over that area of the court.
They are in that left corner. It actually is defensively. They're in the right position, but when they come up and Grace Meyer, they're expecting her to swing line and swing corner, but she just tips it right over and tips it far back.
Straub going strong with this one for the ace. Untouched, perfectly placed.
Fantastic ball by Jordan Strout, finding that open area. Great job.
Yeah, I mean, everybody thought it was going out. I thought it was going out.
I thought it was going out too.
Whole South team runs forward. The ball drops perfectly, and Strout outsmarts the lot of us. That ball right into the net, and that's another point for the Deacons, up 20-8 now.
South needs to just, relax and start letting the play develop. I think they're trying to rush everything right now, trying to feel like they need to get out there and get points on top of the board, and you do, but you need to let those happen, efficiently.
Well, Haley, first of all, there's a very nice dig that time from Seelig as that ball's tipped at the net, and it falls for a Bruin point. But, Haley, I think at this point for South, what they just need to do is get some positive plays going to carry some good momentum over into the second set. Shanley's only 5 points away here from taking set number one. You're down 11. Certainly, you want to try and come back and win here, but even if you can just get some positive momentum, that'd be huge.
Correct.
Heinrich didn't quite have her feet underneath her, but made a nice play on the ball, and then Fredericks just taps it over.
Thought the play was still going there.
Just returning the ball there, Haley. That's okay.
Kind of got excited when I didn't see the refs call.
Can't blame you. Exciting game, just a little jumpy. So there's the serve from Meyer. Here's the set, and then a nice spike that time from Alyssa Henry. Spots the open area, simple as that.
Just like what you said, Jed, trying to build some momentum going in that second set. And, points like that are going to build momentum. Even if you don't win the first set, that's going to carry over.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The odds of them maybe winning this set, not great, but the momentum is certainly something.
Yes.
Waltz on the serve this time. Heinrich was there. Giach will send it up, and a miscommunication there between Olsen and Fredericks leads to a Bruin point.
You can't have miscommunication errors like that when you're this close to closing the set.
Waltz is back to serve for the Bruins. Just makes it over. Heinrich with the nice dig. Straub sets it up for Huber, and Huber going across the court for the kill.
Good job by Huber there. As we can see, on the south side defensively, it's been that left corner and that cross-court pass right above that 10-foot line where the Deacons have been mostly getting more of their points at.
So Kleiman is back to serve now for Shanley. There's a new approach, a little bit of a running start.
Jump
serve, yeah. So that ball's put right back into the arms of Kleiman. Stroup will set it up for Olsen. Olsen's ball contested at the net, and it's a kill for Kate Olsen as it falls on the Bruins side.
The Bruins trying to come up and contest the new outside that came in, and Kate Olsen showing the power that she has to go through those blockers. Good job by Olsen there.
Kleiman continuing a bit of the unorthodox serving style as this ball is set back to Kraus. Great dig made by Stroup. Kleiman sets it across for Olsen. Just not enough height that time as it's into the net. Stroup and Giach, I believe that was, collided that time. And Stroup stopped in the middle of the play to apologize to Giach if you saw that.
Like, are you okay?
So 23-12 now in favor of Shanley. As Henry sends it over, Giach receives, Stroup sets it up. Here comes Payne looking for the kill. Ball well played by Waltz, but it's off the rafters, barely handled by Jackson. Giach makes a great play. Payne puts it up for Kleiman, who just pushes over. This ball now sent up to Jackson. Quick set, tapped over, Payne to Stroup. Somehow Huber gets it over. We're still playing here as Kraus loads up, and it just finds its way inside. But what a point that was, Haley.
Wow, that was just great focus on both sides of the ball for South and the Deacons. Great job by the Deacons to not give up on that play. And Huber, I believe, was it Huber that got that ball over?
I do think it was there, Haley.
That was just fantastic volleyball there.
Giach receives, Stroup sets. In comes Olsen trying to go across that time. Jackson was there for South. From a bad spot, it's well played by Fritz. Stroup will set up. Here's Huber just tapping it over, and Huber makes it look easy. Little open pocket there. She saw that a long time before it even opened up, really.
She kind of already was looking at it before it even developed.
Right.
She just tipped it right over, and it just landed in the perfect position.
Olivia Manuel back to serve. The Deacons just need one. Just makes it over. Nice dig. Kleiman got there, though. Stroup now over to Payne. Lets it go into the net, but it found its way over. Jackson now to Kraus from a bad spot. Manuel receives. Stroup will set it up. Here comes Payne into the net. Stroup got it over, but a whistle, and it looks like Payne may have crossed the line there.
It might have. I didn't have the right position or right angle to see what was going on there.
Yeah, I think that was the call, but yeah, like you said, I didn't have the angle. So Kraus will serve. South trying to stay alive, but the serve went into the net, and that ends set number one, 25-14. A commanding victory for the Deacons.
But South also came back a little bit, had a little bit of momentum going in there towards the end of the set. Like what you said, grab some momentum, go into the second set, and be as strong as you can be.
Yeah, Haley, absolutely. I really like the way that South finished that set. They contested a few more balls. They scored some more points. So it's not the end result that you want, but it's a better finish. It's better volleyball played there towards the end. So hopefully that'll carry over.
Yes, it is.
We do have some stats from that first set. There's a four-way tie in the lead for kills for the Deacons with 3 all. It is Grace Meyer, Lander Fredericks, Riley Payne, and Hadley Huber. In the assist department, Haley Giach checks in with 1, but then it is Jordan Stroup with 10. They'll credit Giach with 2 aces, I believe, on that run she had. She's leading the way in that category. Then on the south side of things, it is Maya Kraus and Carl tied with 2 kills each. And then Jackson and Kraus with 2 assists each, and then Kraus with 1 ace. So Kraus finding her way into every stat category there that we list. So Kraus clearly having a big impact in that first set. If you couldn't tell watching, you can tell it on the stat sheet.
Yes, you can. And she's been a fantastic player this set, and I'm expecting her to step up here going into set 2. I think they're going to set the ball to her a lot more. She had a lot of great kills and good contact on the ball. And Jordan Straub, I believe she had 10 assists that game.
Yeah, Straub with 10 assists already. So Deacons.
Great start.
Yeah, just a great start for her. And again, the Deacons really seem to have their chemistry down tonight. Of course, the last game of the season, you usually, hopefully, have that nailed down. Got some good chemistry between teammates, and that appears to be the case for
Correct.
the Deacons. Got a little bit of time here, so folks, we will take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. About a minute to go here before we start off set number 2. And Haley, tell us, what are your predictions for the second set here?
You know, I predict, South, sit in there and just let things happen. I think they're going to be the aggressors going into set 2 here. And I think the Deacons are just going to keep it on the gas right now. I think they're just going to go out there and be very aggressive and can keep contesting the net like they've been doing, with Lander Fredericks, Grace Meyer, and Riley Payne.
Yeah, I think if you're Shanley here, you don't want to adjust your game plan at all. They were just really doing everything about as well as you can, executing well, playing well together, playing off of each other well. And like you said, I think you want to keep the foot on the gas. Don't let up here. Don't give them any breathing room is kind of the strategy, I'd say. For South, yeah, I mean, there's not really much more to it than just maybe trying to get a better start here. They found themselves in a hole early, and they never really were able to dig themselves out of it. So I guess if I'm South, that's probably what I'm trying to do here. Get a nice start that can maybe, help carry you through the rest of the set. Don't get in that big early hole.
I agree, Jed.
So Giak is back to serve for Shanley. She had an excellent run in set number 1. Let's see if she can replicate it. Here goes Giak, and we're underway. Strong serve to start things off. Jackson will set. Big spike handled by Kleiman. Straub will set across to Payne, and Payne gets the kill to begin set number 2.
Great start by the Deacons there. As you can see that Haley Giak went for that left corner yet again, and I'm waiting to see if South is going to do some more adjustments to see if they can combat this serving.
Short serve this time by Giak. Here is Jackson with the set. Kraus lets it go into the net. And a whistle and a violation. Looks like she crossed underneath.
I'm expecting her to get set to a lot tonight.
For sure, Haley, and I think the Deacons are aware of that. I'm guessing they'll crowd her area of the net. Giak just sneaks this one over. Jackson sets it up. It's put into the net that time by Henry. But I think McAllister actually may have gotten a piece of it as well.
Maybe. I don't know.
I couldn't quite see, but she was right in the vicinity, so if not the net, it would have been her. Jackson sets it up backwards that time. It's just tapped over by Waltz, but it went out of bounds.
And the height advantage that, the Deacons have right now with Paige McAllister and Riley Payne in right now. Expect them to go up and get a lot of contact and tips on balls to the net tonight.
So 4-0, Giak shorts this one. Jackson sets it up, and then Kraus lets it go, and Kraus able to get the Bruins their first point of the set.
And Kraus, like we said earlier, my player to watch for tonight. She is a fantastic athlete and has a lot of power behind her swing, and she's only a sophomore, which is very scary for the upcoming years.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Kraus is certainly a very promising young player, and right now, the Bruins' best weapon.
Yes.
Waltz is back serving as South looks to try and even the score here, trailing by 3. Straub across to Payne, going cross court. Payne expertly placing that ball.
I think Payne has learned a lot from Grace Meyer these past couple years, because Grace Meyer's go-to move is hitting across court. And Payne is starting to look a lot like Grace Meyer, and I expect her these next couple years to be the next Grace Meyer on this team.
Yeah, Haley, that's a good observation. She is borrowing that play from Meyer, and a few other things stylistically are similar. Certainly no one better you can learn from as Fredericks gets the kill.
and Fredericks really becoming the beast in the middle these past 2 or 3 games, coming off, 2 games and double-digit kills. And she's on pace tonight to probably be in the double digits again.
Yeah, if she continues scoring like she is right now, that would be the case. Stroup across for McAllister. That ball tipped and it falls. That's a kill for Paige McAllister.
Paige McAllister, only a freshman, rotating in and using her height and advantage there.
So a 7-1 lead, not the start South wanted here. We talked about the Bruins trying to, not getting that early hole, but that has not been the case here as this ball is into the net from Henry.
And it looks like South might be taking a timeout here, and they do.
Yeah, definitely a necessary timeout that time, trailing 8-1. Anything to just kind of slow up Shanley's attack here. Maybe try and ice Payne a bit, try and force an error, get her cold during the timeout. But, I mean, there's not much you can do here, Haley. It's tough. The Bruins right now just seem a little caught off guard. It seems like they have not, they haven't really left warm-ups yet, They were kind of got caught off guard early and never really recovered.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like they have a lot of energy right now. And the Deacons have, copious amounts of energy having it being senior night, a crazy fan base here right now. And I think South needs to find that spark. And coaches over there right now trying to get them fired up and getting the spark into their eyes right now. And hopefully they can come out with a little more in, a little more competition. But you just got to go out and play at the end of the day.
Yeah, certainly also I'd imagine trying to make some adjustments with the way they're setting right now. They're not getting a lot of clean sets.
No.
And part of that, it doesn't all fall on the setter. Part of that is that they're not getting nice initial passes over to the setter. So there's problems really going all the way back to the start of the play. And I think they've got to just try and fix it from the get-go. Maybe get some better digs, get better initial passes, and that'll lead to more success. You just got to get Kraus some clean balls in her vicinity, she'll do good things with them. As this one's set back to Kraus, handled by Gioch. Stroup sets across for Fredericks. Nice play made in the back row that time by Seelig. Sent right back that time by Fritz. Deacons trying to play it from the net. Manuel able to get it over. Seelig is there. Here's Jackson setting it up. Fritz lets it go, and a power shot from Fritz off the arms of Manuel and into the face of Gioch that time for a kill.
Ooh, that was a very good setup by Fargo South there and good contact on the ball. That's what they need to do more often is relax, set the ball up nicely, and get good, clean contact on the ball.
And that time it was just better passing, Haley, that enabled Fritz to get off the big power shot. Fritz has some power. She's skilled. Well, let's see here. That one appears to be just out. Yeah, I think that's the right call. But what was I saying there, Haley? Yeah, Fritz. Fritz, an excellent, she got a better pass there, and we've seen very good with the ball placement, very good power, maybe playing second fiddle to Kraus some nights, but other nights she is that #1 weapon. Perhaps tonight she can step out of that shadow. Ball blocked partially by Fredericks, straight back to the Bruins, and then sent over by Fritz. A little too strong that time, putting it out of bounds, and now it's a 9-3 lead for Shanley.
Having Fredericks and McAllister in the front row is going to be a terror in this rotation, excuse me.
Yeah, looking ahead to like even next season, the year after that, that's going to be a very scary duo. Deacons have not really had anyone emerge in the place of Sierra Berg until Lander Fredericks a few weeks ago, as Kraus puts this one out of bounds. But if Shanley really has found Berg's successor in the middle there, they've got to be very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Stroup back serving. Here's the set from Jackson, and that ball from Carl falls on the Deacons side. That's a kill for Fargo South.
When South gets a great pass and a good set and then the timing from their hitter coming up, it's a good play. Now, efficiently doing that, correctly every time, it's been difficult for them. But when they do it really well.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Haley, as McAllister gets another kill. Boy, Paige McAllister making her presence known in set #2.
She is. She's got 2 or 3 blocks on the night. I believe that was her second kill in this set. And she's really coming out to be playing it very well, going back to serve right now. And only being a freshman, the confidence level is really showing.
Yeah, McAllister showing off some versatility here. She's back to serve, but it takes a bit of a sharp left on her and goes out of bounds.
Checking in for the Bruins, number 21, Allison Rowe. Haley Gioch back in for the Deacons. Allison Rowe will serve.
So Rail back to serve. 11-5 our score. Here's a serve. Heinrich just gets an arm underneath it. Giach plays it back to Huber. This ball sent up to Kraus, who will set that time for Carl. Another nice play by Giach. Straub sends it over. In the back row, here is Kraus across for Waltz. Giach with a heck of a play. Huber gets it back center, and then Matheson pushes it over. We're still going, though, as Kraus sets up. This ball tapped out of bounds by Carl.
That whole set there and that point, I believe you got to give credit to Haley Giach there, getting those balls up, because South was setting it up very, very well. And Giach just staying focused back there and tracking that ball and diving out and getting contact on it. Good job by Giach.
Yeah, making a very strong play back there for Shanley. As now Kleiman sends it over. Here's the set by Kraus. No, she faked it. Knocked it over with the forearm. Bit of a collision there for the Deacons, but they're able to get it over. Kraus setting it back now. This time it's sent over by Henry. Straub trying to get it back into play for Payne, whose ball is taken that time by Seelig. Sent over by Waltz, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Deacons. Make that 12-7 now, or 6, excuse me.
Come back. Slow and steady.
Yeah, absolutely. Bruins are stringing together some solid points here, winning a few in a row, which they have not been able to do. As Giach gets underneath that one, Straub sets it back for Matheson. Her ball blocked initially, sent over though, and out of bounds.
Matheson also one of the younger players on the team. She's a sophomore, and she's seen a pretty good amount of time in these past couple games, and she does really well when she comes in, averaging probably about 3 kills a night. She does a good job. Good player.
So Manuel is back in to serve with a 7-point lead for the Deacons. Here is the lefty getting it right over, and then Payne puts it back for the kill. Manuel a little low with the serve. The dig sent it straight back to the Shanley side, and Riley Payne took advantage.
You know, and just being there right when you're right above the net, when the ball is floating there, and Riley Payne getting up and putting it right back down. Good job.
14-6, Manuel attacking the right corner. Waltz was there. Here is Kraus setting it back that time for Henry. Henry's ball handled by Manuel up to Straub, now to Payne. It's tipped at the line. Rowe in the back row has it, though. Here is Waltz into the net, and that's a Deacon point, now leading 15-6.
The Deacons are right where they left off in the first set, you know, still being aggressive and going out there and playing. A little more contact they're having in the front, which is good for them.
Ball from Manuel, taken in the back row by Seelig, sent over, and Manuel just couldn't get underneath of it. So it's 15-7 now.
See, that's what South needs to do more often is set it up like that. And they've had opportunities that, you know, I think 2 or 3 plays ago they had a volley there where they set it up 2-3 times where Haley Giach had a couple great digs, but just doing that consistently seems a little bit difficult for them.
Serve from Jackson, taken by Giach. Straub will set, Huber taps it over. Well played, though, by the Bruins. This one from Henry is blocked, and it falls just in bounds. Hadley Huber got up there, and that makes it 16-7 now in favor of Shanley.
Good timing by Huber there, to tip the ball over and then get back up and put your hands up and get a block on it. Good job.
Serve from Giach, handled by Seelig. Kraus loads up, but it is blocked. Straub got up there, and now it's a double-digit lead, and South will take a timeout.
Straub can set the ball. She can block. She can kill when she needs to. All around, great player.
It's the Swiss Army knife for these Deacons. That's what we've said. Jordan Straub just continues to make her presence known in all facets of the game, as we saw with the block there. And Haley, the Bruins, forced to take the timeout, down by 10. I mean, it's a tough spot for Fargo South. It's similar to where they found themselves in the last set. But is there anything different here? Are there any adjustments you think they can make that's different from that first set, or are we kind of just repeating what we did?
I think we're right where we left off in the first set as coming from the South perspective. But, the timeouts aren't needed. They need to just take a second, recuperate and just try to put some adjustments there. The coach, set the ball up a little more. But it's just great to see them going out there and still competing and playing. They're coming back initially there for a little bit, and the Deacons just keep doing what you're doing, and they're doing great.
Yeah, absolutely, Haley. I mean, Shanley has not lost any momentum from set number 1. They've just continued to play right through. It's almost as if this second set has been just a straight continuation of the first set, and it's rare that you see teams maintain such a consistent pace of play like that. So, credit to Shanley there, but for Fargo South, they looked better in the middle part of this set, but in the last few points they've started to wane. I do think a part of that has been the serving of Giach. She certainly makes it hard on them. Not that time, though, as Kraus with the highlight reel kill. And Haley, you know, every couple of points, Kraus she goes quiet for a bit, and then she comes back with a bang.
She's been a sleeper tonight, but when she comes awake and puts a couple of those balls down, it's unbelievable.
Waltz serving now for the Bruins. Trying to string together some points. Shanley might help him out there with a collision in the back row. Great dig made by Waltz. Fritz puts it over, and it falls. There's another point for Fargo South.
Great job by Fargo South coming out of the timeout and getting 2 quick points, getting the ball back to your servers, probably getting a little bit more on the offensive side. Let's see what they do now with the ball.
8-point lead for Shanley now as Waltz is serving. Manuel receives. Straub sets across to Payne. Payne's ball just sneaks over. Trying that cross-court move again, and it just worked for her.
That was a tight cross-court ball. It was actually inside the 10-foot line. You don't see that very often from an athlete as playing volleyball, and great job by Payne there.
Here is Jackson setting up now. That ball from Henry taken by McAllister over to Straub. Faking the set. Jordan Straub faked everybody out that time.
I was faked out. I saw top side. I saw McAllister going up, probably going to get the ball, and there was a wide open gap in the middle, and she just boop, poked it right over.
She tries that move a lot. That time it works for her, as it often will. Jackson trying to set it back. Fritz with another great play. Manuel looking maybe a little bit off, at least by her standards tonight. There's been a couple balls, you know, Haley, I think we're just so used to her kind of making the miracle play. When she plays even just above average, that doesn't seem up to her usual standards, you know?
And I know the back row for these Deacons held themselves to a high standard, and they play at a high level. I think they're one of the best back rows in the state. They just do a fantastic job at staying focused and getting a lot of balls up, and there's been a lot of big hitters in the state that they've played against. They've done very well.
And that time they catch a break after misplaying a ball. The serve goes out of bounds for the Bruins, and so here is Kraus trying to get it back for Fargo South. Straub sets it up for Matheson. Matheson's ball, was it in? Yeah, it looked a hair out of bounds there, and that is the way the call goes. So 20-11 now our score.
It appears coach is arguing about it a little bit down there. And
I mean, I thought it was out of bounds. Then again, it's, you know, especially when it's on the far side like that, it's hard to tell.
It's hard to see.
Kraus serving here. Heinrich receives. Straub will set it up. Here comes Fredericks. Her ball blocked. She's able to poke it back to Matheson, and then Straub sends it over. Nice play made by Seelig. The set now to Waltz. Heinrich is there for Shanley. Straub sets forward. Here comes McAllister attacking the back row. Off the arms of Seelig and out of bounds.
Good play by Megan Matheson, though, in the middle of that set where the ball got tipped by Fredericks. She went all the way to the bench and got the ball back into play and had them get another, you know, kind of live another down, and they did and set the ball up very well to McAllister.
McAllister's serve. Here's the set from Kraus, and then the spike from Fritz goes into the net and out of bounds. Was it touched by a Deacon? I think they'll say yes. So 21-12 now as South gets the point.
You know, it's very hard to see as being a judge over there, seeing and watching the net and seeing what's going to go on, but I don't think that was touched by a Deacon, but we'll find out.
Yeah, again, just another close one. And so there's the serve from Rowe. Here's Straub setting it back to Fredericks. Nice dig made by Kraus. Ball almost got lost in traffic there, but Rowe was able to play it over to Waltz. Giach takes it. Straub now over to Huber. Huber going for the back row. Great play made by Rowe. Seelig, though, couldn't keep it alive, and the Deacons get the point.
You know, that's very difficult as being a defender. And, you know, you hit that ball with one hand, and you have no control on where that ball is going to go. You have no idea. Deacons, you know, a lot of the time get the lucky break with the one-handed saves, but the one-hand save down here just happens to go the wrong way.
Kleiman going for the running start once again. Kraus trying to get the set on it. Instead, it's an ace for Kleiman. Kraus was tracking it, and it ended up into the net, so she couldn't get underneath for a set.
You know, going into the tournament, it's great to see, you know, Kleiman, their best server, trying to pull out little tricks, middle jump serves, and, you know, sometimes they work, most of the time. Technical serves like that.
Bad example there, yeah, but that one does end up in the net, so the ball goes back over to the Bruins. Seelig serving. Here's the ball from Seelig. Kleiman gets underneath of it. Straub over to Matheson. Too strong that time and out of bounds. Seelig will continue to serve now. Bruins have done a nice job hanging around in set number 2. Here is Seelig. Her ball taken by Giak. Stroup across to Payne. Payne blocked at the net partially and then sent over by Rowe. Giak underneath of it. Stroup will set up across for Payne, trying to tip it over. Kleiman makes a save with one arm, and then Huber gets it over. Great dig by Seelig. Payne put it back and got the kill.
Good focus by the Deacons there. As you can see, those one-handed tips, the Deacons kind of get the break a lot, a little contact here and there, but a great job by, Payne going back up and staying ready and focused, and the ball's floating above the net there to put it down and get the point.
It's Olivia Manuel now. Her ball straight into the middle of the back row, tapped over by Henry. Payne with a nice dig, getting underneath that one. Stroup over to Huber for the kill, and the win in set number 2.
Just great set, 2 sets by the Deacons here.
Yeah, I talked about the consistency they carried over earlier, how similar the first and second sets looked. And again, they felt practically identical there, Haley, quick start for Shanley. South able to get back into it a little bit, but in the end, Shanley just pulling away at the end. So this game has been, like I said, pretty consistent. Shanley just continuing to do their thing. South lacking answers right now. Let's see if they can't cook something up, though, here during the break.
That's right.
For now, we do have some stats for you. So after 2 sets, Riley Payne leads the way for Shanley with 7 kills, followed by Hadley Huber at 5. And then Lander Fredericks and Paige McAllister are tied at 4 apiece. McAllister picking up all 4 of hers in that second set. In the assist department, Giak has 1. But then it is Jordan Stroup with 18, far and away the leader for Fargo Shanley. And then aces, it is Haley Giak still with 2, then a couple girls with 1. For Fargo South, now it is Carl leading the way with 4 kills, followed by Kraus with 3. And then a couple of girls at 1. In the assist department, it's Emily Jackson with 5, followed by Maya Kraus with 4. And then 1 ace still for the Bruins. It is Maya Kraus continuing to lead, or continuing to be on the board in every major stat category for the Bruins.
And the Bruins did a good job there on that last time out they took. They came out fighting, and they came out with a lot more energy, I saw. And I hope they carry that over into this third set with a little bit of, urgency to get some points early on the board.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Haley. I think if I'm Fargo South, definitely want to come out here with maybe a bit more fire, a little more desperation. Desperation
that's right.
Doesn't always have a positive connotation to it, but in sports, desperation can be a good thing, and you need to have that, when you're trailing, especially by a wide margin here. So we'll see. We'll see what they do, see if they make some adjustments. In the meantime, we want to remind you one more time that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. Less than a minute to go until we begin our third set. It reads set number 2. I think it read game 3 for a while during the second set. Now it's reading game 2 as we're about to start the third. The point is, it is 2-0 in favor of Shanley. We're about to start the third. So just to clarify that there. Got a little bit of downtime, so we'll shout out our crew here. We want to give a thanks to Cooper Mattern and Alex Fettner on the cameras, and Landon Alex running the TriCaster. And as always, Mrs. Mack and Mr. Picard here, well, just doing everything else, basically. So big thank you to the crew here tonight, working our last volleyball game of the season and our last fall sports broadcast.
Yes, it is, Jed.
So, to begin set number 3, it's Emily Jackson serving. Manuel receives. Stroup sets it up. Here is McAllister with kill number 5, continuing a hot streak.
McAllister, she's having a fantastic and great game tonight. She's having good contact on the ball and great connections, and communication with Jordan Stroup.
So 1-0 now. Deacons leading after that. Heinrich serves. Seelig took it. Here is Kraus loading up. It hit the net. Great play made by Manuel as Fredericks gets it over to McAllister. Nice defensive play there from Rowe. Jackson sets it backwards to Waltz. Heinrich there. Straub across now for McAllister. Blocked, but out of bounds.
Good focus there by the Deacons to follow that ball out to the red line there. A lot of girls sometimes, try to reach their arm out to get a contact on it, and that can lead to a tip.
Heinrich continuing to serve. Jackson gets it across to Kraus. Not a great spot, but able to get it over. McAllister there for Shanley. Straub sending it back to McAllister. Excellent defense there from the Bruins. Straub taps it over. Whistle, though, and I thought we were going to get a call against the Deacons, but instead, all right, well, it looks like we might have a couple. All right, so it looks like Straub went over the top of the ball there. That was what I saw. The initial indication, though, was that it was a Deacon point, so I'm wondering maybe if each referee saw a violation by each team.
I was going to think the same thing, and Jordan did go over the top of the net a little too much, but I didn't see where the other violation was from South. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, neither did I, Haley, and like you, I saw Straub with the potential violation.
They might just replay it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, if they might just kind of make these violations offset and then just do a replay, and that is the call.
Yep, that is the call.
That makes sense to me. I mean, if they each saw something, may as well just kind of redo it there.
Yep, and I think that's a good smart call here going into the third set. Just replay it.
So here is Heinrich to replay that point for Shanley. Heinrich's ball taken in the back row by Seelig. Here is the set, then Kraus lets it go, tipped at the line. Gioch was there. Straub across for McAllister. Her ball into the back row for the Deacon point.
And McAllister, her third kill in this set already. I believe she had 5 coming into this, I think, and she's just playing really good right now.
Yeah, McAllister just continuing to be on fire for Shanley as Heinrich puts this one a little shorter. Seelig to Jackson. Now Henry lets it go. Did it find its way in? Yes, it did. Bruins are on the board.
Let's see if the Bruins can use that little momentum swing, that quick point they got, and go back on the offensive side and get a quick one here again.
It's Mackenzie Waltz back serving. Low ball from Waltz. Manuel's there. Straub sets. Here goes Fredericks. Fredericks lowering the hammer to make it 4-1.
The connection between Fredericks and Straub these past 2 games has been unbelievable. And it's been quick, it's been fast, it's been finding the open areas by Fredericks. They're really coming into it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Those two have really built up a rapport here, and it's the best time of the year for that to emerge. As Straub with the set, who else but Fredericks there to push it over from a tough spot. Fritz, though, finding a huge gap in the Deacon defense. Clearly a miscommunication there as someone was not covering their assignment.
Fritz and Kraus have been 2 ladies that I've been very impressed with tonight. When the ball's set to them and they have open space, they get the ball down.
Seelig serving now for Fargo South. Straub sets it up. Fredericks lets it go. Seelig there to make the play. Jackson sends it back to Kraus. Gioch is there. Straub will set. Here goes Matheson. Blocked. A great play made by the Bruins up front. That was Fritz combining it with Carl there, I believe.
And, the Bruins using their height to their advantage there a little bit and timing it so well. And Megan Matheson, a great outside hitter. That's just good timing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about the height for the Bruins, and Carl does check in at 5'11" as there's another block, and the ball's sent out of bounds. And, Haley, this is the best start the Bruins have had in any set so far tonight.
Yes, it has, and it's a tie game.
4-4. Our score right now as Seelig tries to continue this run. Gioch is there. Straub sets it up. There goes Fredericks, blocked once again. Deacons can't seem to figure that out as McAllister will just have to push it over. Waltz to Jackson, now to Fritz. She gets that one blocked. Seelig there for the response. Waltz puts it over. McAllister up to Straub. Now here is Matheson punching it over, but out of bounds. Right idea, just a little inaccurate.
There's a little bit of energy in the gym now for Fargo South, and the Deacons looking a little bit on their heels right now. The gas kind of let off because they thought they had it in the bag.
Well, Haley, I could be wrong. South may have won the first point of the game, but outside of that, I think this is their first lead of the night.
Oh, there you go.
And it quickly evaporates as McAllister gets another kill to tie it up.
And McAllister is the hot hand currently in this set 3.
Yeah, no doubt about it. She is also back to serve. And folks, one more time, it is set number 3 here, not number 2 as the scoreboard reads. The Deacons won the first 2. South trying to stay alive here in the third as that one was partially blocked, but it falls after going off the hands of Fredericks. That was Fritz that time getting the kill.
You know, it's very hard, you know, off a tip ball like that at the line by Fredericks as a Hadley Huber to come up and get good contact and dig that ball up. Very difficult.
Kraus back serving. Low ball from Kraus. Heinrich could not quite keep a good angle on it. Just kind of goes awkwardly off her arms that time.
And, you know, Heinrich has to come up with that pass.
Yeah, and you could see it on her face there. She knew it.
She knew.
Not a common mistake that she'll make, but, you know, it happens. Nonetheless, a nice serve by Kraus as she got the ace there. So let's see if she can keep that momentum going. It's a 7-5 lead here for the Bruins, and that's another ace for Kraus as Shanley was caught sleeping there, Haley.
And like I said earlier, you know, the Deacons, I think they're just, you know, they thought that this was going to be an easy set, go out there, do what they've been doing, and win the game, you know, and they have made adjustments, and South has made adjustments.
Yeah, Shanley, we talked about their consistency, but that consistency is turning into complacency as they get a much-needed point. Kraus barely got under it, tried to keep it alive, but it ends up falling for the Deacons.
Now let's see if Kleiman goes back to her tried and true normal serve, or she goes back to her jump serve, and it appears she's just going to go back to her normal float serve.
Yeah, that is the case here as Kleiman puts it deep into the right corner. Kleiman and Payne have checked in here. That's a strong duo for the Deacons if they're trying to get back in this one. Stroup sets it up. Here goes Payne attacking the corner. Seelig there. Kraus across to Fritz. Fritz's ball blocked, but it falls on the Shanley side. 9-6 now in favor of South. It's only a 3-point lead, but I would not blame the Deacons if they took a timeout here.
I wouldn't either.
I mean, why not? You're up 2-0.
Find that fire back.
May as well here, and I bet if they lose one more point, I bet they'll take the
And they
timeout.
should.
And there's an ace. Rowe gets the ace. Do we see the timeout? Not yet.
No.
Coach Johnson standing firm. He's never over-eager to burn the timeouts. He does like to give his players a chance to right the ship before he has to do it for them. Rowe's ball taken by Giak. Stroup sets it up. Here goes Payne. Her ball clipped the net. Rowe was there to make the play, though. Kraus across to Seelig. Giak got there. Stroup will set it up now. Here goes Huber just tapping it over. Kraus is there. Rowe across now as this one sent over by Henry. Kleiman underneath it. Stroup sets it back for Matheson. It's blocked, and that's a Bruin point. Haley, this is a totally different Fargo South team. We're seeing nothing like the one we saw in the first 2 sets as Shanley does burn the timeout.
I think it's a good call there by Shanley to burn that timeout. You know, try to find that fire. I think Coach Johnson needs to take the helm now. Needs to make some adjustments because South has made the adjustments they needed to, and they're playing really, really well right now. And the Deacons are a little flat.
Yeah, absolutely, Haley. I couldn't agree more. I think Shanley maybe got a little used to, you know, the points falling pretty easy for him. It was 2 easy sets, and they came out, I think, expecting more of the same. I don't really know what it's been specifically for South that changed things, but they have totally flipped the script here. They've come out with a lot more energy than the Deacons.
Oh, yeah, and it's great to see them coming out after a timeout and finding that spark, finding that energy a little late in the game, but they found it, and they're playing fantastic and exceptional right now.
Yeah,
the Deacons need to get back on top. They need to, put the gas on and just go.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Haley. They do look a little uncomfortable here, down by 5 now. I mean, nobody's comfortable being down in a game, but the Deacons, again, maybe have grown a little used to having the lead tonight. And let's see if that timeout didn't change things around for him. Huber attacking the far corner, couldn't get it. There's Kraus over to Waltz. Giak now up to Stroup. Payne lets it go just inside. And the Deacons get a much-needed point coming out of the timeout.
Big point. That was a big momentum swing for them. They needed that coming out of the timeout. And let's see if Olivia Manuel, I think probably their second best server on the team, can get a little bit more momentum for them here serving.
Yeah, we'll see what Manuel can do. Going for that back corner and puts it out of bounds. And Haley, I was just about to say how consistent she is. So an unfortunately timed error there, but usually just rock solid for him. She'll never, she usually doesn't turn the ball over like that. So an uncharacteristic mistake. This set just not at all what the Deacons were looking for.
No, not at all. And I think this has to go back with them, getting comfortable. And you never should be comfortable in a game, especially even if you are up by a lot. You need to be ready to play at all times.
Right, and that's just not the case right now for Shanley as Kleiman goes to Straub to Payne. Kraus trying to get it over that time, gets a little help up front. Now here is Straub setting it up for Payne. Payne too strong, and Shanley just trying to do too much right now. They're going for the big power shots, trying to score the points that are big momentum turners, and you can't be doing that because that's what happens. You end up putting balls out of bounds.
Yep. You need to go for the quick point, quick kill.
Straub to Huber into the net, and another point for the Bruins. And now up 15-7. It's looking like they're going to push this thing perhaps to a fourth set.
I would burn another timeout.
Yeah, Haley, I mean, I don't see why not here. Why let the lead get any bigger as Giak just gets underneath it. Straub has to throw it back to Payne. And Shanley, no!
My, it's over!
I thought they might get the kill there, but not the case. Payne now on the second effort does get it. But Haley, you can see right now, there is a marked difference in the way Shanley is playing right now compared to where they were at this stage of the last set.
Oh, there totally is, Jed. And I think that has to go back, just everything they've been doing previously. They've been playing well and being on top the whole game, and when you're down, it's hard to come back.
Kleiman now over to Payne. Payne again goes for the far side. Not enough power. Kraus sets it up. Able to find Fritz, and that ball goes into the wall. By rule, out of bounds, out of play. So 16-8 now our score.
The Deacons need to just be relaxed and let the play develop like South did here in this third set. They didn't previously have that in the first other two sets, but now they've come into their own. They're playing exceptional.
Much more calm, cool, and collected. At least that's the way they appear right now as Kraus got to that one. Here's the set, and it's tipped over by Henry. Deacons looking for a lift. They won't get it. Payne fires one that Rowe somehow got underneath. Jackson now across to Kraus, but she puts it out of bounds. Well read by Giak and Kleiman.
Good job by the back row there for the Deacons to follow that ball out to the red line. Now, the Deacons need to find momentum, need to find that spark.
Certainly, Haley, they got to string some points together here. They have not gotten many consecutive points in this set as Jackson now sets it over to Henry. Great play made by Manuel. Straub across to McAllister. It looks like it was tipped out of bounds, and that is the call.
I couldn't personally see if it was tipped at the line, but a point is a point.
So Heinrich goes back to serve. She'll continue to serve here for Shanley. Her ball taken in the back row by Seelig. Jackson sets it up. Tapped over by Waltz. Collision there. Giak comes in to rescue it, but that collision, I think, led to the Deacons dropping the point as Heinrich ended up in the legs of Straub.
A little miscommunication there, and you got to be focused, and you got to be talking constantly if you want to stay on top.
Underneath at that time was Manuel. Straub able to get it back into play. Frederick sends it over. Here is the set. Then a little tap that time from Fritz. Manuel with another great play. Straub poked it over. Miscommunication there for the Bruins. They're able to get it over and out of bounds off the arms of Heinrich. Another point for the Bruins. And now up 18-10. Very close to winning their first set of the night here.
I think the Deacons need to take a timeout. They need to, just reboot, get a game plan here before it gets to 20.
Yeah, I don't disagree, Haley. I don't know what you'd be saving it for here. The one argument, I suppose, is that perhaps they don't want to give the Bruins any time to game plan. But that, I don't think that's the thinking. I'm just not quite sure what the thinking is here, as now the Deacons are down 19-10. Then again, Coach Johnson knows a little bit more about volleyball than we do, so I think I'll trust him here.
Yes, he does.
Straub to Fredericks, and she puts it out of bounds. And this is just one of those sets, Haley. The Deacons look sloppy as can be.
Yes, they do.
Especially by their standards. It's bizarre. I can't really put my finger on one particular reason why this is happening for them. But credit to the Bruins for turning their game around here. Heinrich pushes it over. Waltz is there. Jackson now back to Kraus and out of bounds.
Good job, good contest at the line there by Fredericks and McAllister.
Down by 9 here. I would say this is Shanley's probably last real shot to put together a big run in this set.
Yes, it is.
There was Seelig. Over to Fritz, and the hands just not strong enough there for the Deacon front court to get the block. And it's looking more and more like we're going to have a fourth set, folks.
This whole set has been South. The beginning was Deacons for about the first 6 points, but this whole second half of the set has been the Bruins.
Oh, yeah, they've been all over him here, Haley, as that just kind of sums up the set for the Deacons. Not communicating well, it appears from up here. I would certainly say that's been a factor.
Yeah, it has totally been a factor. Communication and focus has totally gone to none in this third set.
Played really well the first two, though, so it is
yes,
bizarre.
They have. They played really well, and I don't know what happened. They maybe got too confident.
McAllister's ball into the top of the net. Not much Shanley can do there. And again, not to take anything away from Fargo South.
No.
Because they've elevated their game
they have,
by quite a bit.
They have a lot of energy, a lot of momentum, and they're very determined right now.
And that time, Matheson reaches out for it. Maybe an ill-advised play as it's tipped out of bounds. And interestingly enough, Haley, as South is just 1 point away now, this is maybe the most dominant set of the night for either team.
Yeah, it has been.
Giak will take it. Straub sets it up. Here goes Fredericks, and able to get a kill. A little late in the set, but still, we talked about carrying momentum over. That's important, so that's still a valuable point.
And, you know, I think right now, if you're a Shanley Deacon player, you just got to have that momentum and carry it into the fourth set. I think you need to just scrap this one, be done, and just keep moving on.
Well, there's a block for Fredericks.
Wow, Fredericks.
Again, there's that momentum play. There's two strong plays in a row for Lander Fredericks that the Deacons will try and build off of. Down 11 here, you know, it's not impossible. They're certainly going to try and come back here. Fritz going to try to end it, though, and she will. Fritz from the far side says, we're not done yet. And that'll bring about a fourth set here.
Yeah, it will, and they played absolutely fantastic ball there. The Bruins shocked us all. You know, I thought they were, going to roll over and not go out there and play, try to find that spark. And after that second timeout, I believe it was the first timeout, excuse me. Wow. Exceptional.
Yeah, I mean, just incredible the way they turned it around. And Haley, what do you think, for South, what do you think was the biggest reason why that set was so successful? And for Shanley, basically, opposite question. What made that set go so poorly for them? Is there any one thing in particular for each team?
I think starting over on the Deacon side, the one thing that made them, play so kind of sloppy there is that they got comfortable. And when you're in, a tight game, any game, you can't get comfortable. At any moment, there can be a big momentum shift, and a play can go back towards the opposing team. And the Fargo South has all the energy right now. And it's just crazy.
And certainly, Haley, we talked about it at the end. I think it became more evident as the set went on. Communication was very much lacking for the Deacons.
Yes.
Seems like girls didn't know who had what assignment, and that certainly played a role there, I think.
And I think that set and momentum is going to go great for the Bruins right now. It's all on them.
Oh, no doubt about it. I would be surprised if we saw them regress back to the way they played in the first two sets. I'm expecting a much more competitive fourth here because I'm also expecting Shanley to step it up a little bit.
Yes, I am.
So we got some stats from set number 3. We'll give them to you right now. Leading the way in kills for Shanley, it's Payne and McAllister, tied with 9 apiece. Behind them, it's Fredericks and Huber with 6. Jordan Straub checking in with 28 assists. Haley Giak still with 1. And then aces, it is Giak leading with 2. Over on the south side of things, it is Fritz now with 6 kills leading the way. Carl with 4. Kraus and Henry have 3. Emily Jackson has 10 assists, and Kraus has 5. And then Kraus has upped her total to 3 aces, with a couple of girls with 1 behind her. So the Deacons going to take their time here coming out, try and maybe figure out what went wrong there. Coach Johnson certainly going to make sure that they talk to them a little bit, talk to each other a little bit better, improve that communication, and maybe just come out a little bit better prepared. Again, for me, Haley, the difference in all these sets has been the way they've started.
Yes.
You know, Shanley got off to such a dominant start in the first 2 sets. South couldn't even really do much before they were down by 6 or 7. But then in that 3rd set, it was very even for the majority, for most of the beginning, and only later did South start to pull away. So right now, it looks like if South can even get off to an average start, they're going to be in a much better spot.
Yeah, and the one thing I noticed right now just looking out there is that, you know, South is kind of dancing around and, you know, very energetic, and Deacons are very serious. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, Haley, you know, I think it's certainly a good thing, at least for South, that they've loosened up a bit.
Yes.
We'll see if Shanley has maybe got their edge back here in the 4th set. So Jackson will set it up. There goes Waltz, and not the start you want if you're Shanley. There's a kill for the Bruins.
Great job by the Bruins there to come out fighting right away after you just won that 3rd set.
Yeah, that's how you want to start things off. You don't want to give Shanley any momentum to start off here. You want to just do what Shanley did in the first 2 sets, just play it like it's just a continuation of the last set.
Yes.
Serve from Waltz taken by Manuel. Wild ball. Kleiman tracks it down, and Manuel gets it over. Received by Henry. Jackson sets it up for Fritz. Her ball is blocked, and the Deacons tie it up and get a point of their own.
You know, great initial setup by South there. Good pass, good set, and a great contact on the ball. Just the blocking up front from McAllister and Fredericks make it very difficult to get a ball through.
So Payne is serving now. Seelig underneath it and put right back down by Straub. Excellent awareness there by the senior.
And Straub has great court awareness, like you just said, seeing that ball coming over, floating above the net, using that vertical to get up there and put that ball directly down.
Taken by Fritz, then set by Jackson back over to Fritz, and we're tied up 2-2 as Fritz continues to emerge in this game.
Yeah, you know, and Fritz and
Kraus.
Kraus, yes, thank you, Jed, have been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and you know, it was Kraus who was, you know, maybe the better player in the first 2 sets, but
Yep.
Fritz in the next 2 has really taken over as Kraus puts it over. Giak receives. Straub sets across to McAllister. McAllister attacking the back corner. Nothing there. Well defended. Fredericks going at it. She has that one blocked. Straub fakes the set, sends it over. Bruins not fooled. Here goes Kraus. Too strong on that one, though, and it's out of bounds.
You know, and right there initially for Kraus, you know, she gets really excited and anxious to go up there and hit that ball, and she doesn't follow through with her form, snapping that wrist down to make topspin on the ball to have it come down quicker. If she did that, there was a large gap in the Shanley defense.
Right idea, just not right execution that time.
Yep.
Jackson receives. Waltz sends it over. Heinrich makes the play. Fredericks sending it back now to McAllister, who has that one blocked. It's put up, though. Hits the top of the net. And, yeah, Shanley trying to get it over that time. Not going to work for him.
A very competitive set we have going on right now between Deacons and Bruins. And at the moment, they're both playing so well. I think Bruins playing a little bit better coming off that win they had in the 3rd set.
Yeah, the first 3 sets were blowouts. Perhaps this is our closer set as Kraus gets the ace. And, you know, Kraus's offense has maybe cooled a bit up towards the net, but her serving has only gotten better as this game has gone on.
Yes, it has.
So Kraus will continue to serve here, putting it low. Giak able to handle it this time. Strap now over to Olsen. That ball tipped. Great play made by Waltz, though, over to Kraus, and now back to Seelig, who just has to send it over. Heinrich receives. Straub sets. Fredericks taps it over. Tapped right back. And Haley, that's been a huge difference. Okay, we do have a call for a lift here that we'll give it back to Shanley, and I was kind of waiting for that.
Yeah.
That's good to see. But it doesn't change the fact that South's net front presence has been just vastly improved in the last 2 sets.
It has, and not only the presence, but the efficiency that they've been doing. They've had a lot of contact on these balls.
And Fritz out of bounds. I thought it was going way out, but it ends up falling just a little bit out of bounds that time. It was out nonetheless, though, so it's a 5-4 lead for Shanley.
Yes, it is.
McAllister's serve taken by Waltz. Kraus will set, then it's tapped over by Henry, and that's a block and a point for Shanley.
Big point that they needed there for the Deacons, and you know, none better than Lander Fredericks going up and poking that ball over.
McAllister continuing to serve. Seelig underneath it, and it goes right back over to Shanley as Straub sets across to Huber. Huber's ball into the near corner, won't go. Kraus sets up, Fritz putting it into the net, making it 7-4.
You know, and I think what the Deacons need to do is put more pressure up at the net. As you can see, they get a little frustrated. The Bruins do by having that, front presence right up next to the net like that.
McAllister continuing to serve. Kraus able to get it to Carl that time, and Shanley unable to chase the ball down. So 7-5 our score now.
Tight game right now, very tight game. Both teams are playing really well, and both teams are having a couple technical errors here and there. Very uncharacteristic, though, from the Deacons, coming off of 2 great wins in the first 2 sets.
Right. Rose serve taken by Giak. Straup able to get it now over to Huber. Ball from Huber. Oh, just about kept alive, but the Bruins could not keep it going any longer there.
Huber being up there on the top side there and getting a good set like that. There's been a few times where she's kind of held back on swinging and tipped the ball.
So here is Kleiman now for Shanley. Trying to string together some points here. And that's not going to happen that time, though. Shanley fooled by the fake set. Kleiman tried to get underneath it, but was just a little late that time.
Yeah, and the Deacons were focusing on their toes in the beginning first 2 sets for those plays, and right now it appears that they're just not communicating or not on their toes and ready for those.
Carl back serving. Giak receives. Straub sets it up now for Olsen. Going for the back corner. Kraus was there. Here's Henry sending it over to Henry. And now here's Kraus with the set over to Waltz. Waltz's ball taken by Giak. Found its way over, but out of bounds. 8-7 now our score. And a much closer set we got going here.
Yeah, much closer set, and a very exciting set to watch if you're on watching right now.
Kleiman just able to get underneath that one. Payne sends it over. Carl was there. Kraus, a little bit of a low set that time. Henry got it over, but it was sent right back. Here's Henry. Kleiman's there. Straub across to Payne. Payne gets it through and gets the kill.
Great job by Payne there. She's kind of been the go-to if we're in a tough situation. If you're a Deacon, set up to her and she'll almost guarantee kill. If not, a difficult dig.
So Manuel is back to serve now for Shanley. And here she goes. That ball taken by Rowe. Sent from Kraus over to Waltz. Now it's Straub back to Payne. Payne going for the near side. It won't work. Kraus over to Henry. Just tapping it over. Couple girls were there. Great play by Kleiman to keep it going. But that's as far as it would go. 9-8 now.
Initially, the Deacons were not on their toes. But then after that, they got a contact on the ball and they started going really fast trying to get over. But they need to be in those gaps initially so that error doesn't happen.
So it's a 1-point game. Bruins looking to tie it up, and that's one way to do it. An ace from Jackson.
Great job by South in these last 2 sets, especially in this 4th set with their serving. Great job.
So Jackson goes right back to it. Low serve, Kleiman's there. A little bit of a wild ball. Kraus takes it, though. Set back now to Waltz. It's blocked right back to her. And somehow the Bruins are able to keep it going off the net. Here's Huber tapping it over. Great play made by Seelig. And still they keep going. Waltz. Now Straub over to Payne. And somehow the Bruins keep finding some luck there, getting some nice bounces, making some nice plays. But Payne will end that run.
Great job by the Bruins there. They had a couple good breaks there, a couple good digs. And, the Deacons going through and, setting it back up to Riley Payne, the tried and true. In these past 2 sets, you're getting some points down for the Deacons.
So 1-point lead for Shanley. Giak trying to go on a run here. We've seen her do it before. We've seen her do it tonight. Henry pushes it over. Kleiman now to Straub, now to Payne. Payne going for the near side. Won't go. Kraus made the save. Waltz loads up and gets the kill.
Waltz has been a name that we've been talking about here lately, these past 2-3 kills.
Yeah, she has really been dominating that far side, playing really well over there. Her and Fritz have really stepped it up. Kraus no longer kind of alone as the main weapon here.
Yep.
Other girls starting to heat up here for the Bruins.
And another miscommunication error with that Shanley Deacon back row.
And Haley, they had cleaned it up really well from the last set. I didn't feel like communication was a problem in this one, but, that is them reverting to that issue. So hopefully we don't see it again. But you're right. That is that issue we saw in the last set. Catching a break, though, are the Deacons, as that serve was very low, hitting a Bruin that time. But that'll tie things up now as Payne goes back to serve.
All right, tie ball game.
Here's Payne trying to break that tie and get the Deacons back in the lead. Jackson to Henry, and it's blocked by Fredericks.
Fredericks, you know, a terror on hitting, a terror on kills, and it blocks these last 2 sets here.
Payne will continue to serve. Strong ball from Payne. Waltz is there. Jackson sets it up. And there's a big-time kill from Fritz, tying things up once again.
Fritz has been an athlete in this past set. Couple, I believe, is probably her 4th or 5th kill in this last set, I think, or in the last 2 sets. She's been doing a great job.
Yeah, certainly. And so it's Seelig serving for the Bruins. Giak is there, awkward ball. Straub got to it. McAllister lets it go, and it's out of bounds off the hands of the Bruins.
And the freshman having a game tonight, you know, and having the confidence as, you know, a senior setting up a freshman on, you know, a tight ball game like this just shows how confident they are on Page going up there and hitting those balls.
Straub serving. Here is Jackson setting it up for Kraus. Heinrich is there, but McAllister could not quite get to it, and so we are tied up once again. And Haley, we talked about it during the break. It was blowouts in the first 3 sets. We thought this might be the one that's finally close, and it appears to be.
Yeah, and you know, you always wish of a tight ball game, and we have one here tonight.
And
I'm excited to watch what's going on because it's back and forth right now, folks.
Yeah, no kidding. Another ace here for Kraus. She has just been an ace machine the last couple sets.
Oh, yeah.
Her serving just gets better and better as this game goes on. So here goes Kraus. Heinrich takes it. It's into the net. Straub trying to get it back. Will not go, though. 15-13 in favor of the Bruins, and Shanley gonna take the timeout. A wise decision, I think.
Yeah, a wise decision right now, especially get that timeout and, you know, just relax. You know, the Deacon back row seeming a little flustered, and it's, you know, they're just trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm looking at our stat sheet right now. South has 11 pieces in this ball game.
And Haley, I mean, that's an issue. That's an issue you got to correct. Shanley right now just getting caught off guard too many times off the serve. You can't have double-digit aces right now at this point in the game. That's something you got to sort out. Do you think Shanley needs to adjust their formation at all?
You know, I would personally, if I was coaching out there, adjust our formation a little bit. But you also take that risk with the height that they have in the front row there. If you float a ball over a little bit, they're going to power it down. So there's advantages and disadvantages to doing that. And right now, I think you have to take the risk.
Yeah, Haley, I don't disagree with you. It does have its advantages and disadvantages, like you said. The one thing I am seeing, though, is, well, it's what I'm not seeing. I don't really see one area in particular that South is attacking.
No,
so
they're very even.
Right. In some ways, it's hard to adjust your formation when you really don't have one area being exploited.
Yeah, and, you know, and right now, the energy in this room is just crazy. We got South fans talking to the Deacon fans over here, and, you know, it's great. The energy is big, and I want to see if that's going to be a big factor in which team's going to come out with a W in this set.
Yeah, that last set really energized the crowd here as Shanley hopes to stop some South momentum with that timeout as Fredericks loads up but puts it into the net.
You can't have errors like that right now. You got to be able to get good contact on the ball and get back up to those leads like the Deacons were playing in the first 2 sets.
So 16-13 now, and that's another ace for Kraus, and make that number 12 total.
The serving for the Bruins has been phenomenal in these past 2 sets, and it's been led by Kraus, the sophomore, stepping up to the plate and playing a fantastic game right now. Not so much on, you know, killing the ball, but she has 7 individual aces tonight.
And Haley, I was just going to say, what an unbelievable turnaround we've seen here from the Bruins. I don't think anyone would have predicted this after those first 2 sets as McAllister loads up, has it blocked. Excellent recovery, though, from Heinrich. Here goes Fritz looking for the kill. She found a gap in the defense. Heinrich got there. It's poked over by Straub, but we're still going. Nice play made by Carl. This ball pushed over. Straub is there. Giak going to set it up now. Here goes McAllister, tipped at the line. Great play made by Fritz. Poked over by Kraus. Deacons trying to save it, but they cannot. And it's a 5-point lead now for the Bruins, and Haley Shanley is on the ropes right now.
They are on the ropes, coming off 2 great sets, and now Bruins almost totally flipping the coin.
This ball going to be taken by Giak. Straub sets it up now for Fredericks. She taps it over. Nice play made by Kraus. Waltz sending a bit blind backwards to Seelig, able to track it down though. Set now for McAllister, loading up. That ball falls for the freshman, who continues an excellent night.
The freshman. Personally, if I was out there setting, I would set up to her. She is confident, she has the hot hand, and she is not scared to swing right now.
So McAllister is going to go back to serve now for Shanley. Seelig takes it a bit awkwardly. Kraus trying to get it back into play. Fritz got it over. McAllister there for Shanley. Stroup across for Fredericks. Great placement from Fredericks. Better defense from Fritz, though, and that's going to be a Shanley point. They'll say it hit the ground.
A well-needed point. Hopefully they can use that point that they just got really quick for some momentum, as all the momentum and energy is on the Bruins side, even though it is senior night here at the McCormick Gymnasium.
Well, that's not going to help. Just as they were getting things going, the serve goes out of bounds.
Yeah, you can't have serving errors like that, especially with the way that the Bruins have been serving lately.
No doubt about that, Haley. So Allison Rowe is serving now for Fargo South. Rose ball taken by Giak. Stroup will set back for Olsen. Olsen has that one tipped at the line and kept alive. Trying to go for that far side, the Deacons were. It doesn't work out for him, though, and it's sent over by Henry. Heinrich now to Stroup. For Fredericks, did not get enough on it. Got a little too cute, tried to tap it over, and that costs him.
For the Deacons here, you think taping a timeout would be something, to do. Just to, stop the bleeding a little bit and maybe recuperate going into, I think, the 5th set.
Well, let's see here, Haley. That ball from Rowe going to be returned by Huber. Kraus will set it up. On the near side, here goes Waltz. Giak got there. Tough ball along the net. Nice play made by Fredericks. Shanley hanging around here now, down 4.
Good job by the Deacons right now, just staying focused and going into this game.
So Kleiman and Payne come back in. They've been subbing in together lately. I've been waiting for them to come back out here. Let's see what the junior can do in a tough spot. Deep serve by Kleiman. Here's the set by Kraus. That ball misplayed. A double hit occurs at the net. And now it's a 3-point game. Shanley fighting back.
Shanley is fighting, and they're going to need to fight hard with the way that these Bruins are playing.
So Kleiman once again. That ball taken by Rowe, the fake set. Huber not fooled. Hadley Huber making the heads-up play, and the Deacons pull within 2.
That might be the momentum shift. This crowd got a lot more into it on that play there. The fans are cheering now. Let's see if Kleiman can close this game.
Kleiman going to try to get it tied up here. Seelig, nice dig. Henry sends it over. Giak there for Shanley. Stroup across for Payne, going for the far side. Was it in? Just inside. The Deacons are now 1 point away from tying it up.
And a timeout for the Bruins here. 1-point game, Jed. What do you think?
Wise timeout is my first thought here, Haley. Great play made by the Bruins. Don't wait for Shanley to tie it up or take the lead. You got to take the timeout here to ice Kleiman. She's on a tear right now. You want to make her overthink this serve, if at all possible. South, though, have been playing really well. How about this turnaround, though, Haley, by Shanley? A little late rush here from the Deacons trying to tie it up.
Yeah, and it's been amazing. We've seen turnarounds both by the Bruins and now by the Deacons again. It's kind of crazy watching this game tonight. Coming out, we saw the first 2 sets thinking, oh, it was all going to be Shanley. And then we saw the last 2 sets, it's been all the Bruins. Right. And now the comeback for the Deacons, making it a 1-point game. Very interesting. I truly don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly, Haley. It's very hard to predict what will happen next just with the way this game has been going up to this point. So here comes Kleiman. A lot of pressure on the junior. Again, that timeout perhaps icing her.
Yep.
Let's see. So here is Kleiman able to get the serve over. Kraus sets it up. It's tapped. Olsen there. Stroup across over to Payne. Payne finding a hole. Did it hit the ground? Yes, it did. They didn't ice Kleiman. She's got ice in her veins, Haley.
She does.
A good play under pressure, and we're tied up.
Now, if you're the Bruins here, you need to stop this serve.
Kleiman just puts it over. Oh,
and that's the break.
Yeah, the indication initially I thought went to Shanley. I was really confused there, Haley, but
that ball was out.
Yeah, that ball was clearly out. So Kleiman puts it out of bounds. A tough break there, but now the Bruins can try and capitalize up one. Giak just gets underneath it. Straub going across now to Payne. Payne works it back inside. Here go the Bruins now trying to put it back. Waltz, that ball taken by Kleiman. Straub sets it up. Here goes Olsen. Olsen finding the gap on the near side to tie things up.
Olsen, the senior, coming in tonight and going line in a big-time play the Deacons needed. It's a tie ball game again, Jed.
Huge play from Olsen on senior night. No better time to do it. Manuel serving, and it's into the net. Just can't have that there. Manuel struggling a little bit tonight. Her second one into the net.
Very uncharacteristic for her.
Got to put it out of your mind quick, though. I agree, Haley. Very uncharacteristic. But if you're Shanley, you got to put that out of your mind and refocus now. Giak gets to this one. Tough spot. Payne does a great job playing it back in, and Straub gets it over. Rowe will take it now as Jackson sets it up. Ball fired by Waltz. Manuel there. Straub across now to Payne. Payne going for the near corner. Nice play defensively by Seelig. Kraus hammers one down. Straub pops it up. Tough ball for Payne to play, but she's able to get it over and tie it up.
Olivia Manuel there. A big kill goal line, and she dives for the ball, gets a touch on it, and Jordan Straub diving for the ball again and gets a touch on it.
Deacons displaying a lot of grit here late in this fourth set. That ball going to be taken by Seelig. Set up for Kraus into the net, and it's a Deacon point. They're on top now. 23-22.
Long time the Deacons are on top, and another timeout for the Bruins.
Absolutely huge swing in momentum here, and like you said, Haley, first time in a long time that they have been on top now. You know, they had a couple errors there in the later stages of this set. A couple serves into the net or out of bounds, but they've recovered nicely. And now, Haley, man, the pressure is on both sides here. Bruins burning that last timeout, trailing by one.
You know, this will be a big timeout. If the Bruins come out of here and get a quick point, ball back on the offensive side, they could possibly close this game. And now on the Deacon side, using this timeout efficiently, trying to find out what you need to do offensively to get a quick setup, put the ball down really quick.
Haley, there's 78 kills so far between the two teams tonight as we're coming down to the wire here in the fourth set. And if this is not the perfect game to end the regular season with, I don't know what is. We've been given a great game here tonight.
This has been a fantastic game from both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball, we thought there'd be blowouts by the Deacons and by the Bruins.
But now we've got a very close fourth set on our hands. And let's see, Bruins trying to force a set number 5. Shanley trying to escape with the win. Here's the serve from Giak, taken by Waltz. Jackson will set it up. Here goes Henry into the net for another Deacon point, and they're one away.
Wow, big play, big play. Now let's see if the senior on senior night can close this game.
Here is Giak trying to finish it right here, right now. Jackson will put it up in the air. Here goes Kraus, just tapping it over. Manuel not fooled. Straub across to Payne, looking for the kill, and will she get it? Yes! The Deacons pull off the win by the skin of their teeth, and they get the victory on senior night. How about it, Haley?
Oh my, great showing by both teams. Great showing by the Fargo South Bruins and Deacons, going out there and finishing the way that they started, fighting and putting balls down. Great job.
Absolutely tremendous work by both teams here, Haley. The Bruins, like you said, do a great job battling back, just unable to overcome the deficit they put themselves in early. Still, though, great effort here from Fargo South and great heart by Shanley to pull it off in the end. Final stats for the night, Riley Payne led the way with 14 kills, followed by Paige McAllister with 11, and then Hadley Huber with 9. Jordan Straub far and away the leader in assists with 38, and then for aces, Shanley as a team only had 5, and it was Haley Giak leading the way with 2, followed by a couple girls with 1. Fritz led the way in kills for South with 8, followed by Kraus with 6, and then it was Waltz with 5. Assists, it was Jackson with 15 and Kraus with 7, and aces 12 total for the Bruins and Kraus with 7. Everyone else with 1 apiece. So those aces proved to be a major factor.
Yes,
Shanley, though, able to gut out the win. Well, folks, our last broadcast here, not just of volleyball, but for the fall sports season, we'll take about a month off, and then we'll be back towards the end of November, and we'll have hockey and basketball, both boys and girls, coming your way for the winter sports season. So, going to be off for a while, but come back here in just about a month for a brand new season of some brand new sports. For tonight, though, for Haley Buckles and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo: Shanley Deacons 3, Fargo South Bruins 1. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.